can't believe I gotta have this
If
conversation.
he don't win this year, he's a bum.
Bro, that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so true. Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving and Curry. One-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh, yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second. What's up, everybody? Joseph, impressive work on the intro. Appreciate it.
Simple work.
But we got a big guest here. Carl, we discussed this internally. We think you bring the best out of this show. So it only made sense that we brought you back for the playoff preview because the NBA season is done. Regular season finished. Brackets are set. Play-ins are set. Those will kick off this week. Fellas, how we feeling?
Man, best time of the year.
Yeah.
Blake is doing all right, so I'm doing all right.
40 games and 40 nights. I can't complain.
I feel like a lot of storylines are starting to get interesting at just the right time.
Oh yeah. We the NBA saved no drama, or I guess gave us a bunch of drama on this fine Sunday. A favorite of the Three and a Possible podcast here. Rudy Gobert decided to make a little headlines on Game 82. Smacked the shit out of his own teammate Kyle Anderson today in a huddle. Game was not going so well. So Rudy decided, you know what? It was cool when Draymond did it in the offseason. Let's raise the stakes. Game 82. Start some shit within the team. So, Carl, I think it only makes sense because you have the most insight into teammate punching another teammate. So right. What's your take on this whole situation here, Carl?
Well, and it's perfect too because me being such a huge Rudy Gobert fan, he really just brings everything I love to the game. Just 7 feet of big French bitch. Just like, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I was only catching bits and pieces of what happened today. It's Easter Sunday, I saw that clip pretty much right after it happened. And I mean, just everything about it is like classic Rudy Gobert bitch assness.
Yeah. I think I would agree. Not that I think anybody in here had the Timberwolves going very far. Does this change your opinion of the Timberwolves at all, Carl, moving forward?
No, I still see the Timberwolves. A lot like I did last year, where it's like they could be a fun first round team if they make it into the first round, but I don't see them as a contender. I don't see them as even like a spoiler, really. Like maybe they could get past one round is how I felt last year when it was the Grizzlies. Depending how the play-in works out, that could happen again this year. It could be, if the Timberwolves beat the Lakers in the 7-8, right? It could be 2-7 Grizzlies, T-Wolves again for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
So I could see the series being fun. I guess I could even see maybe the T-Wolves taking that one. I wouldn't bet on it. They are what they are. They're a 7 seed in the West. There's kind of like 7 seed in the West is kind of like this about every year for the past like 12 years, I feel like.
Yeah, no, fair take. Joe, your reaction to Rudy smacking his own teammate?
I mean, that's what happens when you're Rudy Gobert. You make $36 million a year, and your teammates don't like passing you the ball because your hand's soft, and you're gonna drop everything they throw to you in the post. You're not very good. You making $36 million a year, and you only giving me 13 points a game, 11 rebounds, but they've the most irrelevant, like no impact in the game type points and rebounds. So you really aren't doing that much, but you're taking up so much money, and you think you a superstar. So if Kyle Anderson, a bench player, get a little upset with you, you can't get mad and think you better than everybody like you LeBron. You Rudy Gobert. To be quite honest, just because you got that money next to you don't mean you are that athlete that you think you are. And I think that he feeling himself a little too much. And this is what happened. The exact same thing happened in Utah. And he about to do the exact same thing with the Timberwolves. He finna break this team up over some stupid nonsense that he created. It's just what he does.
You're not wrong, Devion.
Yeah, bro, it's Rudy Gobert, man. It's not like it's not like I expect too much. He's the same dude who coughed on it and caught COVID right after, right?
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So they might be better off without him because he's really a cancer. He's not that good. He's getting paid $45 million a year to do nothing, and just be tall. So they might have caught a blessing. So good. Who the fuck cares? It's him. Yeah,
It's Rudy.
It's just Rudy, bro. He just need to focus on being decent at basketball and making a layup. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like this is just a microcosm probably of the Timberwolves fandom, like everything, right? Expectations were, for whatever reason, set very high because they traded for a terrible big man and traded away all their role players. And, somehow that got a bunch of people into believing this was going to be, a team that could maybe make some noise in the West. No one on this podcast bought that bullshit. But I think this is just this is just all of that coming to a head. They're not that great. They will, if Ant can go Superman, great. But that's really where their title or playoff noise, anything falls on. Can Anthony Edwards be fantastic? And I know he's dealing with injuries and everything, so it's just who the fuck knows what this team's going to do? Probably not much. Doesn't change my opinion of them in the slightest. Now,
and to
another.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just to circle it back to the Draymond comp. Like as frustrating as it is as a Golden State fan when Draymond gets on his bullshit, like at least when Draymond pulls some shit like this, you actually know that he is about it for whatever that's worth. And maybe it's not much. I don't think it's worth a lot, I'll be honest, but it is like real. And it comes.
Yeah, you don't get the sense that Draymond's like a fake tough guy.
No, yeah. Carl's 100% right. Like when that situation happened, everybody was saying Draymond punched him because Jordan Poole was getting out of the system because he got paid and he was feeling himself. When Rudy Gobert does, everybody's like, "Oh, let's go, punk ass Rudy."
No, yeah, exactly. Nobody fucking believes for a second he's about it.
All right, Rudy. Let's focus on the shots that you get that are literally under the rim that may or may not hit even rim, like let alone be easy conversions. So. Yeah, and again, Draymond also had 4 rings to back up his kind of loudmouth stuff. So just very different situations. But another team that had a lot of buzz. This buzz was generated at the trade deadline because they traded for Kyrie Irving.
Good player.
The Dallas Mavericks, who were technically the 4th seed, while that only was like a game and a half difference from them and being out of the play-in entirely, where they ended up missed the playoffs after acquiring Kyrie Irving. We discussed this on our show right around the time before the trade happened. One of us got the destination right. One of us also said it was going to be a disaster. Pat on the back.
No one really said it was going to be great.
I mean, we've had hype man Devion here the last 2-3 episodes.
I just cared about Kyrie.
Off the fucking 1 seed Nuggets. All right, so like I'm not trying to hear that.
I just cared about Kyrie.
He did say that.
Well,
but
shit.
Let's just talk. Let's talk about the Mavs. Let's just talk about the Mavs.
Just sit out last game, like
because I got some way more
to. They on some bullshit.
I got some shit to say about exactly.
Me too.
A lot of feelings in this one.
I think we probably on the same page. They on some bullshit.
Probably, but we'll let our guest start. Carl, you have no real vested interest either way in the Mavs. What's your take on this whole situation here?
Yeah,
they are now getting investigated now, by the way.
I saw that. I'm really flattered you guys brought me on. I thought with the Mavs being in this situation, you might have gone with Marco, but I mean, it's
podcast will be over.
It's looking bleak for the Mavs right now. Let's be real. And for Kyrie's legacy too, I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, but I feel like every year since he left LeBron's Cavs, like he just drives his stock lower and lower and gives you an even bigger reason and an even bigger one to make you feel like this guy's just a cancer in any locker room. This guy is going to tank any team he goes to. He'll show up and look good for a minute, and then all of a sudden you're out. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks were in the Western Conference Finals last year, and now they're not even in the play-in. Like, that's a bad stain on Kyrie's career. And I apologize if this is redundant. I don't remember there being an episode where you guys got really into this, but when you like sort of split Kyrie's career into with LeBron and without LeBron, his without LeBron career is pretty fucking terrible. And like this really drives it even further down.
Yeah, what's crazy about that, Carl, is like, when it started with Boston, it started off actually pretty good. Like they were actually doing well. Then he got hurt. All those young guys got some juice, and they made the little playoff run without him. Then when he came back the next year, it was just all types of fucked up. Like, some people had ascended and then weren't really quite comfortable trying to fit back in under Kyrie, which is kind of what it seemed like. Then you've got this whole Nets fiasco where I think we at least all agreed last week Kyrie pretty much tanked the Nets.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty solely responsible for how that just got completely destroyed. And now, like, I don't know that I would say he's why the Mavs blew up, but it is a bad look. Like, it's a bad look. Because, like, I think if we asked each and every one of us on this show, who's better, Kyrie Irving or Jalen Brunson? We'd probably all say Kyrie Irving, right? Like, if you're just, like, trying to pick a basketball player. And so, and again, obviously, to get Kyrie, they gave up a lot of the role players that helped fill out that team. But yeah, you're not wrong, Carl. It's a really bad look for Kyrie. At least this is just purely basketball, and like I am thankful we can just talk about Kyrie playing basketball right now.
And I don't think any one of us would say it's all his fault, but it's a lot fucking his fault.
It's just you go, okay, Celtics explodes, and like before and after, great. Nets, Kyrie played it. If not solely, he was very largely responsible for why that didn't work. But Joe, go ahead. What's your take on this? I know you said you had a lot to get into.
Hey, the Dallas Mavs should be investigated because what they're doing is obvious. They want to protect their top 10 pick. If they made the play-in, their top 10 pick would be unprotected and they would lose it in that trade. But if they didn't make the playoffs, that top 10 pick gets protected. That's 100% what this is about. They could easily play their players in that last game, made the playoffs, won a play-in game, and then tried to make a push for the playoffs. But no, they planned it for the offseason. This is Mark Cuban thinking he's being a smart businessman, but it's completely obvious. Like, it was 100% obvious. They're going to get investigated, and I hope they lose their first-round pick because it's embarrassing when you had the whole season after the All-Star break. Everybody is talking about how players don't want to play and players sitting out and load management. And then you have a team like the Mavericks with 2 stars that people want to see play playoff basketball. You sit them on the last game of the year just so you can protect the top 10 pick. And you're not getting Victor Wembanyama. You're not getting Brandon Miller. You're not getting Scooter.
Well, let's be clear about one thing. With the way that the Thunder finished their season, the Mavs would have been eliminated either way. So even if they would have played their guys, they would have. The Thunder would have been. But they didn't know that on Friday.
Exactly.
They didn't know that on Friday. They still were alive.
Alive.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
that was bullshit.
I mean, I can't name anybody out of that top 3 in the draft this year. So who knows what they're gonna get because they're not gonna get a top 3 draft pick. So no. I hope they lose their pick for this. It's embarrassing and it was disrespectful to the fans more than anything. And I think that's a huge thing. Adam Silver need to step in. If you want to talk about load management with players, then you got to get at the owners if they're going to openly tank like that.
No, I agree. Devion?
I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. It is some bullshit because we at least want to see Luka and Kyrie, and then you got the whole narrative. Pretty much the picture's painted that it's a failed experiment. You at least want to see them try to go out there and see if they can win it and whose fault it really is. So now you
But
know,
you wanna
Cuban.
I want
Kyrie.
more your take on the Mavs missing the playoffs, right? Like, okay, we can debate. Like, yes, they tanked
No,
it
I'm
away,
saying like
but the
that's
fact
what I'm
that they were
saying. Like
even
the
in that
whole,
position, like the fact that they were in that position to be able to do
I
that,
don't
like
think
that's
it's.
I don't
I'm
think
quite the
just saying
anybody
like,
is surprised. I don't think
four
anybody is
and
surprised by
11 with
that.
those two as a tandem. 4 and
but
11
I'm just
with
saying
Kyrie
like
and Luka.
the whole organization, all the bullshit that they did, and then this happened.
And
It's
then you
just like,
expect, you
yeah,
expect
it's just
15
put in
games for them to get it
perspective.
together. I don't think anybody expected. I guess no one
Yeah.
expected them to fall off this far, but
Yeah, like we'll think that they at least make it to the playoffs, but the pieces that they traded, we know like those are important pieces, but
they had nothing.
for them to go in and do 40-11 and then they don't play the last game, it's just like as an organization, it's just like that was shitty. You know, y'all just went from 4th seed to 11. Like if I was the fans, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I was with bro when we watched that last game and I watched his reaction. I said I could feel your pain if you're a fan. Like I could really feel your pain because if that was the Lakers, I probably would have broke my
Bro,
TV, man.
you a Mavs fan, you going into a playoff with Luka and Kyrie.
Up
You
15 the
you
whole
think
time.
anything can happen. You think anything can happen if you go into a playoffs with Kyrie and Luka on your
Yep.
team.
Up 15, play one
Hey.
thing, and it's just a whole meltdown. It's like an organization. It's just like because we expect more from Cuban, we expect more from Jason Kidd. We've been talking so much shit about the organization as a whole, and now they just proved us right by doing that bullshit. So, and I was rooting for Kyrie in the Mavs to get it together, but we knew it probably wouldn't work. But thanks for fucking helping it, Cuban.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just sad overall.
So this is what I'm trying to figure out. Everyone keeps telling me Luka is this like top 5, top 3 player in the NBA. When is the last time someone regarded that highly finished not just missed the playoffs, right? Because like we've got this expanded fucking thing here this year.
Yeah.
Finished 11th. Like I'm trying to think, and I meant to look this up before the show, and I completely spaced. But the Lakers in 2000, what was that? 2005, right after Shaq left, right? Like, where did the Lakers finish that year? Because like that's the next person I can do. Kobe, maybe in that 05 season, and he was with some bullshit.
Well, we had
Like,
you talking about the year we had Smush Parker?
Yes,
And
like
all
Kwame
them
Brown.
Oh yeah, that was a bad year. Come on now.
We were like the third.
So they finished
12th.
They finished 12th in the West that year. Like, if you would have gave Kobe Bryant a player as talented as Kyrie Irving,
we would have made the
no
playoffs.
way in hell. No way in hell they finished 11, 12, anything like that. In my opinion. Like, I just there's been this whole thing with trying, like, we discussed this actually one of the times we had Carl on the show, back when the Suns were in the finals against the Bucks, and we talked about how it feels like the media had been trying to anoint Devin Booker forever, and it feels like the exact same thing here with them trying to anoint Luka as this like MVP type player. And like, again, he's incredible. He's very gifted, but to me, he is Euro Harden. That is all he is to me at this point. He is. You just take Harden in Houston Harden. You just moved him a little bit in the state of Texas to Dallas. Change the skin tone. Same player, same results. Like just does not, except without the regular season dominance. Apparently, that James Harden, because James Harden at least did not have a problem getting the Rockets to the playoffs. So I like, to me, this is. I agree, Carl. That this is a stain on Kyrie because it's like, if the smell of shit follows you everywhere you go, like you're probably the shit. But like,
might want to take a shot.
but like,
this
Luka,
ain't his fault.
But Luka, I think, deserves a lot of this blame as well because he's supposed to be the guy there. So
it's not Kyrie's fault, but when we look at it at the end of the day, no one's gonna sit there and look at the stats. They're just gonna look at the optics and say, "Yeah, it's Kyrie's fault." And then Luka's gonna get another pass, and he's gonna keep doing what he does.
Yeah, he should just took over games. And
the reason I started there, like I said, it's not all Kyrie's fault, but it's just so striking again when Luka basically, and Brunson was very good as well, but for the most part, like especially when you watched them try to play the Warriors in the conference finals last year, like Luka kind of carried team on back all the way to conference finals. Fast forward a year, absolute.
Let's not forget. They won games without Luka last year.
Yeah,
Again, it was the first round. It was the Jazz, but that was still
1.
Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson was able to take that team and win a couple games while Luka was hurt.
And that's always tough though, because at the same time, remember the Grizzlies had that weird thing last year where they played
but there's a difference when it's playoffs and when it's regular season.
Fair.
I hear you. Regular season, they did have a really good record without Ja. They weren't winning shit in the playoffs without Ja.
I think you ask a really important question about when's the last time a player who's supposedly this good, his team's this bad, and I'm thinking just the last handful of superstars that have a bad year, and I'm thinking Dame Lillard when he had a great individual season 2 years ago and the team wasn't good. He had a bad season last year, but 2 years ago it was really good. Borderline first team All NBA, ended up being second, I think.
But no one ever talks about Dame like he's Luka. No one ever put them in that category.
Carmelo Anthony with the Knicks.
A few years before that, Westbrook wins MVP, right? And people are talking about the legitimacy of the whole triple-double thing and blah, blah, blah. And it's well, Oklahoma's not actually a contender. They were still a fucking 6 seed. They were still there. This is different. This is unique. If he is as good as you're saying he is, this is unique.
True.
Yep. No, I like it. Like you said, Russ was he didn't have the Thunder as a finals team, but you also didn't think that Russ would miss the playoffs. That was not really even a thought. And I don't think any of us thought the Mavs after the Kyrie edition would have.
No, I had them 4 to 6 seed. That's what I thought. And Luka is used to having the ball in his hand 99% of the time anyway. So,
well, that's what I mean. To me, that was the whole issue, right? You had two guys that are only effective with the ball in their hand.
And one of them,
you take the ball out of Luka's hands
a lot more than the other one. Because Luka gets away with he'll hold it for 30 seconds and then pass it at the last second, get an assist and all great plays. We used to get on Rondo about shit like this. He used to hold the ball half the fucking shot clock. So
same thing got on James
Harden.
Shit. Let's start shifting our focus here. Now we've talked about a soon to be out of the playoffs Rudy Gobert. We've talked about it all the way out to play-in and playoffs Dallas Mavericks. Let's shift our focus to the finals. It's time, fellas. I need predictions. I need to know who is going to beat who in the finals this year. No bias shit. All right. I need your real take. Joe, you kick this one off.
Oh, you want my finals take? Just straight
your
up
finals take. Who's going to beat who in the finals?
Oh, I'm going Suns versus Bucks, and I'm going to take the Bucks to win it. I'm taking the Suns, even though KD hasn't played that much, but he's gonna be fresh coming into the playoffs. You can plug him in; it ain't gonna be no problems. Devin Booker gonna give you a couple 40-point games. Chris Paul not gonna have to do much, but pass the ball, set these guys up, so he gonna be healthy. They gonna make that push. The West not that strong. They gonna push through the West. They gonna make it to the Western Conference Finals. Now the Bucks, I am a little worried, but they the biggest team. They got the best defense. If Chris Middleton can be consistent, I just think they too much for anybody because they have Giannis and they'll be able to go through the East. There may be a 7-game series in there somewhere, but I think they'll be able to make it through and win the East. So I'm taking the Bucks to win the whole thing because they have Giannis. They got Brook Lopez, who I think is the defensive player of the year, which we're going to talk about later. So I think the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks.
Carl, you've had enough time to think. Who's beating who?
Well, yeah, I had to think a little bit because you said we're not being biased here, and I'm like,
right.
I mean, feel free to roll with your guys. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at you, but
yeah. So while we're on the subject of NBA Finals teams, how much fun is the bottom half of the West bracket going to be? If the seeds hold with the Lakers at 7. You've got Grizzlies versus Lakers and Kings versus Warriors on the bottom half. And regardless of how those first 2 series shake out, that's going to be 3 really fun series. The 2 first-round series and then whoever plays each other in the second round, that's going to be awesome. I've got the Warriors coming out of it. I've got the Warriors getting back to the finals, and I agree with the Milwaukee Bucks out of the East. I'm really intrigued by the East. I'm really intrigued by both conferences, to be honest. For a while, the West was looking a little down, but with the Suns getting KD and looking legit, with the Lakers coming back from the dead. The West is looking a lot of fun again. I'm
So
struggling.
Do you have the Warriors winning?
Yeah, why not?
You said might as well. If you let them get there, you might as well pick.
I mean, they did it last year, right? Might as well.
Why not?
All right. So Carl's got Warriors over Bucks. Joe's got Bucks over Suns. Devion, I feel like we're gonna get something different from you.
Yeah, Bucks and Suns. So, but I don't know. I think the Bucks could beat the Suns because it's kind of hard to bet against Giannis. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Middleton, but Middleton's that like, you don't know what you're gonna get from Drew Holiday. We know we'll get from him. You know, the rest of the players is just gonna be role players. Giannis is gonna be a freak. But I don't know. I don't think the Suns. I think the three players. KD's gonna be KD. You can't stop him, but you can't stop Giannis. D Booker plays like Chris Middleton. You don't know what you gonna get from him, what day, what playing style. You might get 100 points that game. You might get 10 off 50 shots. Chris Paul's not gonna have to do shit. Literally pass the ball. Fourth quarter comes, nobody else making a shot. Chris Paul can shoot literally 2 shots the whole game. I can count on him to hit the game, winning shot. I'm cool with that. And then I just watched the Suns play without the starters. The bench is shitty. I'll give you that. And because Payne, man, it's just like watching him. It's just like having maxed out anxiety the whole time, just watching this dude play. Because you don't know if he's gonna try to drop a dime and fuck around and do a turnover, thinking he being icy and go run down and be like, whose fault? It's just like yours. You know what I'm saying? It's a dickhead. So watching shit like that, when you watching the Suns, it's like, they're decent when Payne plays, when you just throw him in there and just take him out, throw him in and take him out. So I ain't too upset with it. Like, that bench sucks, but I think it's enough for what they got. The rotations will be, good enough to stop them. So I got the Suns, but we'll see. I might change because the Bucks, it's hard to go against Giannis. It's hard to go against Giannis. So one of those two go in. That's it. I got the Suns.
Wait, what do you mean that's it? One of what two?
Those the two, Bucks or the Suns. Them the only two I think can win. But
Guys,
I think the Suns can win.
Are we already forgetting again about Chris Paul's inevitable annual playoff injury?
He doesn't have to do that much.
He's not the second.
It's gonna happen. It happens every year.
But he's always number 1 and 2 option. He's not a third option. He don't have to do nothing on offensively.
I was a little bit worried about the Warriors potentially having to play the Suns in the first round because Chris Paul won't be hurt yet. But, by the time the conference finals roll around, we should be.
Yeah.
At least certainly.
I'm glad you kind of brought up what I wanted to bring up, because one very fun possibility is a Suns Warriors Western Conference Finals. That is where they would meet if they were to meet in the playoffs. So KD having to go up against his old guys could be a good little time there. But all right, so I've been struggling with this question. I struggle on the West side. I've also got the Bucks representing the East. So I think that's a clean sweep for all 4 of us, but
a little boring. I'll change my mind and we can fix it in post if you want.
It's all good. It's all good. I've thought about the Suns. I've watched them a little more. When those starters are in, that team's tough. Wiggins coming back is obviously very big for the Warriors. I think that rounds out their roster for the playoffs. And then, I know they didn't finish very well, but the Nuggets have been basically in first place the entire year in the West. Yeah. So I have a hard time just completely discounting them. And what really bothers me is I've really enjoyed the Kings this year. I hate that the Kings have to play the fucking Warriors in round 1. That pisses me off to no end there. But
on which, in what way exactly? You're saying that you feel like they deserve.
I think that they should be rewarded for how good they play with not getting the defending champ
Yeah,
Golden State Warriors. Like I think
I'm
that's
with you.
bullshit.
Because
And
they're
I
going to get
thought,
embarrassed.
that's what you meant. I just wanted to clarify. Yeah, I feel you.
So
Yeah, I don't feel bad for
where
him.
I've
Welcome to the
landed at
playoffs.
is I've
Welcome
got
to the playoffs.
I've got Bucks beating the Warriors. That's where I'm at. Bucks over Warriors in the finals.
Can't be mad at it.
Tasty.
I think once the Warriors, like, that first round is going to be a great test for them. I think the Kings are going to test them, but I think that'll be like a good test for them. That'll help Wiggins get fully kind of back into the swing of things. Yeah, so I'm going Bucks Warriors. Don't love it, but it is what it is when you're trying to
It's
do
that
it
kind of
before
year.
Well, and
Exactly.
since no one brought it up yet, I'm a Warriors fan, but truth be told, this abysmal road record shit it's a real thing. So up until like a week ago or so, I was really hoping like, man, we might be able to sneak into that 4 seed and get home court in the first round. Last few days, clearly wasn't going to go that way. But I mean, the Kings' offense is incredible. The Warriors have sucked on the road, which is where they have to play their first 2 playoff games against the Kings. It's going to be.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Warriors just got to go 1 for 4
Right.
on the road in any given series if they can just hold serve at home. And another thing, when I think about teams that are typically bad on the road, it's typically because they're not good defensively. I think with the Warriors having all of their pieces, I don't think we'll see them
Wiggins is
return to like
back.
peak Warriors defense, but I think we will see a good defensive team, and I think that'll be good enough to especially get them past the Kings. But yeah, as they move forward in the playoffs. But
I
before we
agree.
get into the individual series and the playing games and all that, let's talk about end of season awards. So MVP has been hotly debated this year. I need to know who's going to win it. Actually, not who's going to win it, because that's a whole different conversation. Who do you think should win it? That's what I want to know. I don't care about who's actually going to fucking win it. Carl, who should be the MVP this year?
For me, this year and last year, both super tough. The year before that, when Jokic won his first, I thought that was the clear right answer. As big of a Steph fan as I am, I thought he had a solid case for number 2. He ended up 3rd behind Embiid. Last year and this year, man, like, can't be mad if it doesn't go the way I feel it should. I said the same thing last year. I'm leaning toward Embiid, not strongly, but that's where I'm leaning.
All right. So Carl's got Embiid. That's one. That's maybe Embiid doesn't have to go home and cry after the postseason. He at least has something to smile about.
Yeah, and I've never been a big
that's a little
Embiid apologist. If anything, I've kind of knocked him on here a few times, and I don't regret it. I'll do it again. But he wins MVP this year. It's a regular season award.
Yeah, no, he had an incredible season.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 acceptable answers to this question.
Agreed.
Joe?
Man, it's Joel Embiid. I mean, the last 10, 12 games of the season, he was better than Jokic. So he's a more recent bias. So I think it's Joel Embiid, especially after that big game he had against the Celtics. Like, I know they lost, but he scored half that team points. Like, he was out there balling. It just proved how much they need him. The Celtics didn't even have all their pieces out there. He still had to do everything he could to try to win that game. So he sold me on that game right there. So I'm about to give it to Joel.
Okay. Important caveat, though, not when the Sixers and the Nuggets played head-to-head.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Well, the second time. The first time he smacked Jokic around like a fucking doll. Like he was very clearly the better person in that game. But did seem like he kind of dodged the smoke the second time, which I'm not a fan of. Devion, who you got?
Embiid. I had Jokic literally the whole year until probably last month.
Nope.
But because the thing we can go with Jokic was that they got a better home record. I can give them that, but the rest of the records are about the same. Jokic, you could have said he's number 1 seed, but Embiid's record is better, and the East is tougher.
Mm-hmm.
So I give Jokic props for not for being a high enough seed and not getting in the mix with that bullshit in the West, where you can be 2 games and from being 4 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
I give him props for that.
Mm-hmm.
But But when it seemed like he got fatigued at the end, when you supposed to go in there and just finish it out and make sure you're supposed to let everybody know who you are. Embiid showed that he didn't care if he had James Harden, if Maxey would be the second best player, but he was always the best player. It was because of him. Finished with a better record. Everything we criticized Embiid about, it's just like he was like, fuck it, fuck everybody else. I don't care about James Harden being James Harden. And so I think he deserved it. I thought he deserved it last year. No, hold on? Let me make sure I'm not tripping.
No, you're right.
He won last year and it was a close call, but I agree he deserved it.
I think he should have gotten it. So he should be back-to-back MVP to me. This should be like a back-to-back for him. But I can understand why he didn't win it last year. If he doesn't win it this year.
Got you, sorry.
No, I think
you get what I'm saying?
I think Jokic very clearly deserved it last year. Let's not forget the context of last year.
That's what it was. It was the
injury.
In my opinion, Embiid's never deserved it. Last year, everyone forgets Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. did not play like a single game last year, and Jokic carried them to a better record than the Sixers while having James Harden. Like last year, I get why it was a debate because we always have to debate something, but like it really wasn't that much of a debate to me last year.
Well, also the last 2 years, people were not quite talking about Giannis as much as I feel like they probably should have been. He should always.
Giannis is up there.
Well, I'm glad you guys led perfectly into my answer because the correct answer is Giannis. Like I don't really understand.
It is, but he's not going to win it.
But I asked who should win it, Devion.
No, I think Embiid should still win.
Who should win it? I think Giannis should win.
Embiid.
If you look,
Giannis win it.
How? See, that's what I don't understand. Embiid's got Harden. He's got Maxey. Right? Like those are two very good players. There's not a single person on here, as much as I dislike the man, that is going to take Chris Middleton over some fucking James Harden. And Chris Middleton has missed a ginormous chunk of the season this year, and the Bucks finished ahead of them. So they
got a better team. It's a way better team than them. You can count on the players more. Yes, you can count on them more than you count on those 76ers.
Mm-hmm. PJ Tucker, Jay Crowder. I'd take PJ. I would take PJ.
No, I wouldn't.
I would easily. Had them both.
Oh, not this year.
Not this year. Yeah, I would.
So y'all playing this bullshit. It's because of how James Harden and fucking Joel Embiid play that PJ Tucker gets reserved to doing nothing. That's their fault. Don't blame PJ Tucker for it. Blame those two.
We can only go off the results, bro. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but we can go off what happens in the end, the fucking results.
Okay, so Giannis does more for his teammates then. That's what you're telling me. That's all I'm hearing from this conversation.
I think Embiid does. If Embiid don't play like he plays, we don't have this conversation at all. The Bucks can still be decent. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be where they are.
Stop it. They're a playing team without Giannis. They're a playing team without Giannis.
You take Embiid off the 76ers, you telling me they anywhere near where they are right now?
No, but neither are the Bucks without Giannis.
Yeah,
the Bucks are way better. They got a better team.
They are a better team with
way better than them. It's not even close.
Who?
The Bucks.
Who's leading the Bucks? Who is going to lead the Bucks if Giannis is not there? Who's leading them?
Tell me
a team that Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday have taken anywhere.
I have more faith in
without
Drew Holiday being consistent than anybody else besides Embiid on the 76ers.
Come on, bro.
We didn't watch them play all year. Ain't nobody fucking consistent on that bitch.
Devion, you know I love Drew Holiday. Real. You know I love Drew Holiday.
He's way more
when
consistent.
When is Drew Holiday? What did the Pelicans do?
Better.
What did the Pelicans do in the West against James Harden's Rockets? What did they do?
Bro, don't talk to me about what he did 7 years ago when he averaged 35. He ain't doing it now. We're talking about two different
types of players.
Not talking about this shit.
James Harden is a bus driver. Drew Holiday is a role like star. He can't be
his role
he can't
better,
be the
and he
star.
Can win.
No,
and their team can win with him playing his role, not James Harden.
I'm not debating. If you're asking me who I'd rather have on the Miami Heat, Drew Holiday every single time. But Drew Holiday cannot be your best player. He can't.
Oh, sure.
I didn't say he had to be your best player.
Bro, you just said if you took Giannis.
I said if you take Giannis out, does not mean you can't swap him out with somebody else. But if you take Giannis out, that same fucking team, that core team, is a better team than the 76ers. They play their roles a lot better. It does. We do not have to have Steph Curry in all 5 positions for this shit to be out here like, oh, this is the best team. We don't. That doesn't matter. James Harden can't even be your second best player for you to win a championship.
Bro, James Harden is an NBA leader in assists. NBA leader.
Yeah, and
Like,
what
he's
does that
doing
get
something.
you when he goes to playoffs? He don't show up. So I'm not trying to hear that
You already
shit.
said yourself.
Great
Regular season
stat.
award. Regular season award.
He's a great stat, yeah. But the playoffs, he don't do shit. I
We're
guarantee
talking about
Drew
the MVP
Holiday
prediction.
is gonna be. I guarantee
Stay on top
Drew
of it.
Holiday and that whole team gonna be more consistent than him. If I was a gambling man, I'll take that.
Oh man, you guys got me
Wild.
so.
I'm just being real.
You got me out here
That
defending
team,
James
I get
Harden.
Giannis
This
is good, but
bullshit.
that team is way better. It's not even close, bro.
You got me thinking about
Like
what
if
that
Embiid plays
series
half
would
as
actually
bad as
look
he's playing
like.
right now, they at the bottom of the totem pole, way at the bottom. If he don't do what he's supposed to be doing at all.
Imagine with me for a second, like
Real, bro.
these two teams actually meet in the playoffs, but God forbid those two are hurt. What are we looking at for this series?
The Bucks are gonna win.
No.
The Bucks are gonna win.
I
Which
need
fucks
this
us up
fucking
first?
series. Well, no, I don't.
The
I don't
Bucks
want-
will win.
I gotta think about how they'll get there. That means the Sixers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Don't want that to happen.
Bucks will
But
beat them in 6 games.
stop it.
They will beat them in 6
Stop
games.
it.
They would.
If those two were hurt, stop it.
Boy, you not counting on no James Harden to take you nowhere. Come on, Will.
Dude,
We
nah.
done seen
I
it
will.
done.
I
How
will.
many
I
times
will
you gotta
bank
be
on James
upset?
Harden to beat Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. Yes, I will.
I don't. He could. James Harden can
moving
have
on.
30, 30, and 30. That fourth quarter come, he gonna forget how to play.
Guys,
Defensive
both
player
of
of the
those
year.
coaches are fully capable of fucking that series up for their team.
That's a
Now I
very
agree.
valid point.
That I agree. I don't got
Very
shit for
valid
that.
point. But we got to move
I
on.
don't got shit
Defensive
for
player
that.
of the year. This episode's going to go 2 hours long. Joe? No, Carl. Defensive player of the year. I'm interested.
Pass. Somebody else go first.
All right, Joe.
Hey, I said it earlier. I'm going with Brook Lopez as defensive player of the year. And I already know you're going to say he has Drew Holiday, so that helped him out a lot. But he's the best rim protector this year. He's the best paint protector this year. If you looked at the advanced analytics, his win shares is top 4. He's top 3 in everything. He up there with blocks. You got to give it to Brook Lopez, and they the best team. They the best defensive team. I'm giving it to Brook Lopez. He's the defensive player.
Devion got me hot. Devion got me hot on that last day.
I'm being real, bro.
Carl, you got something? Do I need to let this jackass talk?
Let me think about it for a second.
This jackass. All right, you go, jackass below me, Devion.
I got Jaren Jackson, bro.
Not bad pick.
I ain't gonna lie. I think
He ain't played enough
I
games.
don't know. He played like 60 games. I guess how many games do we need to play for it to count? Because
65.
This is your answer.
65 is the new rule.
Don't let Joe
I think
influence
Jaren
you.
Jackson played enough.
65 is
I'm
no
just saying. I
rule.
think Jaren Jackson played enough.
It ain't the rule this year.
No, it's not this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So
I
you
think
going?
60,
His stats are really
60
good,
games
though.
now.
His stats are
Jaren Jackson. I think the way he played helped his team out a lot. He reduced a lot of players,
Especially
points
without Jaren.
every time he guards, and they drop points a lot. He shot 50%. He's decent on offense, defensively.
He
It
played
looked like
63 games, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
know. That's
good.
what I'm
That's
saying. I
fine.
think that's fair.
That's fine.
That's enough.
Whatever.
Lopez is a close second. I wouldn't be mad at that because what he did for that team, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That was important the whole time. Drew Holiday's good, but Lopez is a big ass reason and another reason why they better than the 76ers. So, but I digress. That's it.
Yeah.
Better players in every position.
So the first player I think of is also Jaren Jackson Jr. The reason I struggle with that is man, when I'm looking at individual players this year, yeah, it feels like he deserves it. But correct me if I'm wrong.
He might.
Before I look stupid, but the Kings have been bad at defense this year, right? Awful. And I have a hard time giving that award to a player whose team isn't good at defense. You can't blame one player for what's around them, but at the same time, part of why MVP always goes,
Right.
part of why we don't consider.
Jaren Jackson is a Memphis Grizzly, though.
Oh God, I'm a fucking
They
idiot.
are
Fix it in post. Fix it in post. Whatever. I'm gonna stick to where I was going anyway. I know it's not a popular pick. I have a hard time overlooking Bam. I don't know how you feel about that.
Damn, dope. He always a good candidate for real.
Yeah, he is though. He always top 3.
Yeah.
What happened to Marcus Smart?
What did happen?
Damn. Damn.
Boy,
Damn.
he should have won it. He should have
Thank
won
you,
it.
Joe.
Won it.
Stir that fucking pot.
Marco, you
Yeah,
should have
Mr.
seen me
Kyle
sooner.
Lowry.
No, I love Bam as a defensive player, though. He impresses me a lot more than like what feels like 30 years in a row that they gave that shit to Rudy Gobert because he has blocks in his stat column. I actually like respect Bam as a defensive player that you don't have to worry about as a complete liability in some ways, like Rudy Gobert.
Love that answer, Carl. Love that answer.
Well, because we know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, of course you.
No,
Same thing every year.
I'm actually not going to pick Bam this year. I would love to, but
How we
Bam,
going, PJ Tucker?
nah, Bam. The last basically since like the All-Star break, Bam did not have the same level of like intensity defensively, and honestly, there was
So you
times
had
I
him
was
at
like, I would have had like you would have asked me halfway through the year at the All-Star break, I would have said yes, Bam should be the defensive player. But can't give it to him after the way that it finished, and he's been dealing with a bunch of injuries. I'm not saying he's not trying or anything, but this might feel like a weird one, but I'm going Draymond. I feel like Draymond kind of deserves it. When you look at, and I'm going strictly based
I'm not
on,
too mad.
I'm going strictly based on difference of on and off the court. Warriors have been very bad without Draymond on the court, very bad and like middle of the pack team defensively throughout the year. But when you put Draymond on the court, they are the best defensive team in the league. Draymond's on stats, defensive rating, they are the best team in the league. Draymond is forcing, and I don't really know how, because he's 6'8" and can barely jump over a fucking dictionary.
He doesn't
but
anymore.
Players shoot 11% lower than their field goal percentage when at the rim, when being contested by Draymond. So I don't know how he does it. So like he still protects the rim without blocking a ton of shots. He makes the whole engine kind of go.
Yeah.
But if I had to give it to somebody, I would give it to Draymond this year because I think that's my type of defensive player. I don't really give a shit about the steals, the blocks, all that bullshit. I want to see you actually affect the game defensively.
Well, because we've proven year after year, if you go by a stat like blocks seems like a compelling one, but like steals regularly gets led by players like Steph, or I want to say Westbrook might have gotten it one year.
AI used to lead it all the time.
AI used to, yeah, exactly. So
they play a passing lane.
As I was
like nothing wrong with it, but it's just like that's not really like okay. So like 2 or 3 times a game, you guessed right on a pass and jumped it. Like, okay,
you're not a fact about Lopez. I'll give you that one.
But yeah, to your point, like I was saying earlier, like when it comes to good defense, it really is such a whole team thing. So like when you look at defensive player of the year, like I feel like you have to be looking at the teams that are actually good at defense. So I actually like that you brought up that that little split. I think that's relevant.
Yeah, no, I think that's how I would always do it. But again, it's not simple enough for
good thing you don't have
the dumbass media members that vote on our award every year. So whatever.
Hey, don't talk about my people like that.
You have to have a pretty stat like blocks per game, so Rudy Gobert can be a 3-time defensive player of the year, even though he gets benched. Even though he gets Joe.
Just stay.
Not right now. All right. Devion already did enough to me. All right. I don't need that.
You just said Draymond gonna get defensive player of the year, and I ain't say nothing.
Exactly.
I let you have that one.
You didn't say
I'm not over the MVP discussion. All right.
Oh, by the way,
I ain't
said
nothing to you, dog.
If you wanted to know,
to me.
I do not care about an apology by Rudy Gobert. Let's talk about rookie of the year. This one should be quick. I think there's really only one answer. So Joe,
Banchero.
Yeah, Carl.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
The Magic are going to be good, man. That's
Devion.
a fun young team to watch.
Paulo. Okay. So Paulo's going to win Rookie of the Year. Great season by Paulo. The Magic have done some good things.
The first half was really good.
Yeah, I mean, pretty typical of rookies. Hits a wall at some point.
Yeah.
But I think he's like kind of clearly on like a different level than the other rookies that we really saw this year. Keegan Murray, though, Joe, you talked about him before the season started. Keegan Murray actually did kind of come on strong.
Towards the end of the season?
I think set a rookie record for 3-pointers made for a rookie as well. So deserve some love. Jaden Ivey was someone that I think, Joe, you had brought up. I think I had brought it up before the season. Had a good, nice season for the Pistons, but yeah, this is Paulo's award. Let's get to the matchups. We can start with your Lakers, bitch ass Lakers. Lakers will host the Timberwolves in the 7-8 play-in game. Carl, who's going to win?
Man, I've said this. Well, it feels like a million times, even though it's only the third time. But dude, the playing games, anything can happen. It's just one game. I'm just gonna go with the team that I think is slightly better than
that. That feels a little personal, based on maybe some personal experience.
The
Warriors, it didn't quite go their way in the play-in, but Siri's trying to tell me to be nice to Carl, but I'm not gonna listen. Sorry.
It's that point though, like that just real quick, that circles me back to that shit about the Mavericks, the shit they pulled at the end. Like, no, in all seriousness, you look at like the Grizzlies 2 years ago, you look at like the Pelicans last year, like you fucking cowards, like you have a chance to be in the playoffs. Like you could be that team that like puts a like a real scare in. I don't know. Fuck them.
I like it. Marco actually just thought a good name for Rookie of the Year, Benedict Mathurin on the Pacers, who had a fantastic year.
I forgot about him.
For sure, he should be. He
was
three,
out there.
actually.
Deserves love, deserves votes. Not going to beat Paulo, but you know.
No one saw that guy
whatever.
doing that either.
Joe.
Yeah. So
I'm assuming you're going with your Lakers.
I would take Lakers over Timberwolves, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll make it easy. The Lakers are going to beat the Timberwolves because Rudy Gobert just ruined their season with a stupid ass cheap shot punch. It's not even a real punch, but yes, he just ruined their season. The Lakers gonna win pretty easily. I think it's gonna be a wrap. Only thing, I just need AD to show up. I need him to be just a little bit better. Like 8 points in the first half ain't gonna get it done. I just need you. You can come out and score 20 in the first half and coast the rest of the way, but I need you to show up in that first half. And that's about it. I ain't worried about the Lakers. I'm only worried about AD.
Well, they don't got no rim protector. So yeah, Lakers.
You made a good point about that Gobert swing. He missed another wide open shot right there.
He's a ball, bro. Like I told you, he can't do that.
He's such a bitch,
bro. If you 9 foot tall and you can't make a layup, bro, I don't have no faith in you. This is your profession.
That man got big ass hands.
That was a layup. He whiffed it.
Right?
You hear me? Yeah, they suck. The Lakers gonna beat their ass.
So. Lakers gonna dog walk them. I mean, we didn't even spend a ton of time on this one. Lakers gonna dog walk. That's not even gonna be. That ain't gonna be a fucking competition. That's gonna be 20 burger.
Well, and it sets up a really fun 7 versus 2, 3 versus 6 half of the West.
Yeah, it sure would.
That'll be fun.
Let's go to the other 7-8 game. I unfortunately have to report that the Miami Heat will be playing in the play-in game this year, not a higher seed. Such a fun year. I can't wait for it to keep going. Carl, do my Heat beat the Hawks in the 7-8 game?
I say yeah. I still believe that the Heat got a little bit in them.
Okay. Devion?
Yeah, I got the Heat. I don't know why. I was talking to one of the homies about this the other day, Trae Young. Like, I just had so much more. Like, I just thought he'd give us so much more than what he did this year. And I don't really got too much faith in him in these situations right now. I know he'll perform, but I believe the Heat will be the Heat in situations like this. So I got them winning. Yeah.
Okay. He win this one. The Hawks don't have no defense. And I don't have faith in them. I mean, yeah, Trae Young can get hot, but I don't think they're going to let him get hot for one game. If it was a series, maybe they could win 2 games. But this is one game, it's a wrap for them. They're finna get clamped up.
They couldn't even
defense
win
finna
2
come
games
in.
last
It's a
year.
wrap. That's what I'm saying. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Heat. I have no expectation that the Heat for a Heat on a night-to-night basis, so they could fucking lose it.
They could, but
I think the Heat will win. They've been playing better offensively since they traded for Kevin Love, even though Love has not been fantastic himself. They've scored more points. So the Heat are something like, I think it's like 34-10 when they score above 110. So I don't think the Hawks play enough defense to prevent the Heat from getting to that number. So I'll take the Heat in this one as well, but do not deserve any more time than that. 9-10 in the West, we got the Pels versus the Thunder. I'm so excited about this game. Unfortunately, we have no Zion, so no Zion for the Pelicans. But Carl, who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm surprised to be saying this. I'm leaning toward the Thunder. Without Zion, I just have a hard time.
It's hard. They're hard to figure out without Zion. Like they really are. They're hard to figure out because like Bi is a good player.
He's good.
I would say a budding star.
He would have been an all-star this year though, but he's been hurt. He had a really good.
And they got CJ. CJ's got some experience, but
and they played in last year. They won a couple of games over the Suns in the first round. Like they looked pretty good. There was no Zion when they did that. They've got good players, no doubt.
Yep. So Joe, who you rolling with?
I'm taking the Pelicans. CJ's going to drop 40 plus. Man, they got the most experience. I'm taking them because they got the experience. CJ will will them through.
40.
Bi gonna drop 20. Yeah, 40. I told you he finna come through and be clutch. That's what he do.
All right, I like it. Okay. Sorry. Calling CJ clutch. I've seen him throw too many 11-point games in the playoffs back in his Portland days. But
yeah,
I mean, that was from Portland though. He wasn't the main star though.
I remember in 2019, after KD was injured and gone, the Warriors sweeping them, having to come back all 4 times. I don't remember CJ coming in the clutch at all.
That was different. He was a number 2. He was a number 2 in that situation.
Hey, look, that was Portland CJ, right? You're talking about New Orleans CJ.
Yeah, exactly.
Devion?
That was good though. You got me on that shit.
Oh man, the OKC, no Zion, no look. I think the Pelicans. The Pelicans beat them the last 2 times? I just think OKC just feels like they got a chip on their back, and I don't know why, but it feels like they playing like it. I just got more. I don't know. Yeah, I just can't figure the Pelicans out without Zion, bro. Like Bi can score 60 points and they still can lose. Got the OKC, man. And I ain't saying that with confidence at all.
One thing I'll say about this one is I really wish one of these teams was in the 7-8 instead of the fucking Timberwolves. So the Timberwolves could just lose the 9-10 and just be done. I don't have to watch them again. But I'm gonna go Pelicans. One thing I've noticed about the Thunder this year is they foul a lot. A lot. And I think that's going to hurt them. I just don't think they're quite disciplined enough. I think it's going to be good experience for them. So I'm going to go Pelicans. I think Bi is going to lead them to a victory. I agree with Marco saying CJ's still the number 2, Bi is the number 1, which I think is good. I think that's the proper setup for them. And then when Zion comes, Zion should be number 1. Bi 2, CJ 3. That's a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if they can make it into the playoffs and Zion can come back, that's another team that's really dangerous for some other poor, highly seeded team that have to deal with. But
what ifs?
Let's go to the East. Yeah, a lot of ifs. Let's go to the East. 9-10 is Raptors hosting the Bulls. Carl,
I didn't even write that down.
Man,
whatever opinion you have on this stupid game.
Dude, these are both teams that at times I felt like, ooh, they might be dangerous, and now I just don't really care about either of them anymore. I'll say Raptors, but I don't care.
Okay, I like that. I like where your head's at, Carl. Joe,
I'm gonna take the Bulls because the last month they've been the hottest team in the East, so I'm gonna go with them.
All right, maybe the bottom half of the East.
Yeah, that feels like a lot.
They have been. Look at their record. They've
the hottest team in the East.
They've been they really have.
But Bulls,
the 76ers went on 2 separate 9-game winning streaks.
Okay.
They were not hotter
I said
than
the last month.
Games or something.
No, they weren't. I said one of.
Babbage, boy.
I said one of.
Nah. See, now you're trying to go back and change what you said. We got the tapes here, Joe. Devion, who you got?
Yeah, they both ass for real.
They really
have
are.
no faith in them, but yeah. Raptors, I'll take the Raptors, bro. I have zero faith in the Bulls. None. Zero.
Man, the Bulls, if Lonzo could have came back for the Bulls, they would have been an interesting team to me, but without him, they're just so fucked at that point guard position and don't have anybody to get them. Yeah. They have no pace without him. Not. But the thing is, the Bulls have the 2 players that I trust the most. In this one game thing, DeRozan and Levine. But I trust Nurse but Billy Donovan's also a good coach. Like, I am very torn on this one.
Yeah, they
I'm gonna
both
go
suck. That's
Raptors.
all.
I'm gonna go Raptors purely. I'm not gonna lie. This is a little biased. I'm purely rooting for the Raptors because I want them.
Scotty.
I think they will be tough on the Bucks in round one.
Oh,
The Bucks.
wow.
The Bucks need a tough matchup if my Heat are
This
gonna have
dude.
any prayer of going anywhere.
Sorry, you think
Okay.
for the Bucks?
The Raptors are very similar to my Heat. No one ever wants to fucking play them. Even if you know you're gonna win,
Yeah,
you don't want
it's
to
gonna
play
be a
them.
hard
It's gonna
game.
be it's gonna be annoying.
I felt that way about the Raptors for a while. I'm out.
All right. You know who I know you're not out on, Carl? The Warriors.
Oh.
Never out.
Let's talk about the real series now. The ones that we know. 3-seed Kings, 6-seed Warriors. Carl, the floor is yours. Tell us why the Warriors are gonna win.
They're the defending champions for a reason. Got all their players back. I respect the Kings. Like you said pretty much all that needs to be said, I think, earlier about how unfortunate this matchup is for them, but it is what it is. The Warriors are the better team. We've rarely ever seen the Warriors healthy over the past several years now. Like since the second round of 2019, partway through, we've rarely seen them healthy. Last year, we got to see them healthy during the playoffs, and they were the best team in the fucking league during the playoffs. I don't know how long it's going to take to get Wiggins back in the swing of things. Hopefully not long, because we're going to need him day one if we're going to get through the series. But trusting that between him, Draymond, some other guys, our defense is going to shore up. I'm allowing myself to believe that a little bit of their road troubles have to do with the fact that they are the defending champions. Regular season doesn't mean a ton anymore. It's harder to get up for these away games when you've just been at the top that many times. So I'm going Warriors.
I'll allow you to believe that.
And
All right, Joe.
Wiggins is the second best player on our team. I agree with Marco.
Yeah, no, he really is at this point, which is crazy to think about. But Joe, what you got?
Hey, Klay Thompson had a good 2-week span where he was the best player on the team. But I'm taking the Warriors anyway. Kings, welcome to the playoffs. Like, you finna get bullied. Welcome to the big leagues. This is exactly what's about to happen. Draymond is going to be real physical with Sabonis. I think Sabonis can handle it. But they're going to be able to put up points.
Sabonis has had playoff experience. I just want to make sure we throw that there. When Sabonis
come on, bro.
with the
Pacers, whatever, bro.
They didn't make the playoffs.
So whatever, bro. Like I said, they don't have enough experience. They finna get taught a lesson. They may have a good close game just because they're so good offensively. I give them 5 just to be respectful. They losing 5.
Wow. 5. Okay.
I agree.
Devion?
Yeah, I can see them losing in 5 or 6 games. I think the Warriors just got the Kings figured out. Like, they're a good young talent, but the Warriors, they didn't beat them 3 times. 3 out of the 4 times they didn't play it this year.
Light work.
Good
yeah,
stuff,
you know what I'm saying? When the Kings did beat them, it's just I still was like, the Warriors could have beat them. You feel me? So playoff experience.
Look at Devion Backstrom.
Yeah, I'm just saying 4-2 right on, my boy. Yeah, I don't got no hope for them. I don't think they got playoff experience. Like Sabonis might have a little bit, but what they gonna do to him mentally, they gonna bully them. They gonna push them to the limit. Well, I don't think they got enough experience. Maybe next year. Once they get their ass beat this year, maybe that'll get them ready for next year. But
this is such a fucking terrible matchup. This is such bullshit for the Kings.
Yeah, maybe it'd be different if they kept them second round.
I would have picked.
But first round, that's tough. That's a first round. That's tough, bro. And they was nice. They was hot this year. Second round, maybe.
Man, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings if the Kings won. I would not be surprised. But I'm obviously picking the Warriors. I got the Warriors in the finals. So.
I wish I could see this.
Marco need to stay out the fucking comments. All right.
I wish I could.
But no, I think the Warriors. You guys hit all the key points. They've been there. They've done that. Draymond is going to punk somebody. I don't know if it's going to be Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be Monk. I don't know if it's going to be Murray. I don't know if it's going to be Fox. Like he is going to punk all of them.
He really is the perfect asshole to have on your team to just rattle the little young boys.
Yeah, he's what you
So
hate
the
to
thing-
play
the
against,
thing-
but
the
you
thing
need
that
to
makes
win.
me the thing that makes me like
That's it.
the thing that makes me like question this series is Fox, because like I talked about this a couple years ago when we were doing the Suns and the Bucks, right? And I talked about how Chris Paul is always a league leader in clutch time statistics, right? That's Fox this year. Like Fox has been like
Yeah, he's
until
hella
like
clutch.
3 games ago, he was leading all year in clutch time points. So
Yeah, he
He's
gonna
always
make
been
it
like that.
interesting.
that's what makes me
Yeah.
nervous about it for the Warriors, but I do think the Warriors are still going to do it because, again, there's clutch time in the regular season, then there's clutch time in the playoffs against the defending champs, against Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Like, that's just different.
But they got
That's
one
different.
guy. I feel Mark on that. Missed the fourth quarter. He's the dude that'll make it exciting. But you got one dude like that on the Kings.
Jaren
Mhm.
Jackson.
You got Steph. You got all these other players, and even
Like
if they not
Clay-
clutch, they know how to keep the
Clay
momentum,
getting getting a
it's
shot
different.
in the fourth quarter in the corner to make
Yeah.
a big time shot with 3 minutes to
That
go.
boy gonna be.
He's done that. He's
Yeah.
like he's
He'll be
made them.
dangerous.
He's missed them. Like he's experienced all those emotional highs and lows.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's nothing to.
we were talking about Murray
Yeah.
is a rookie. Like he just hasn't done it yet. Maybe he'll go out there and prove me wrong. Shout out to him if he does, but I don't see it.
Nah, it's too much experience. Too much. They gonna be nice next year.
Mhm.
This is good for them.
Let's go to
Great
the
for
next 3-6 series. I think this one can be quick.
we
Sixers
are.
versus Nets. Is anyone not taking the 76ers?
Nah,
Carl,
man. Embiid's too much. Embiid's
Nah,
too much.
Sixers. Next topic.
Yeah.
Joe,
Facts. Yeah.
Embiid, yeah, they too much. No.
It's gonna be fun to watch
Devion.
the Nets play, like for real. Watch
Yeah, it's
them
gonna
with
see
you
how
know,
the
them
young
gonna
pieces
watch
play,
them,
but
I might take that one off.
but if it, hey, bro, look, Marco, if
You like
Embiid lose to the Nets, bro, I'm never saying nothing about him or Harden ever again. I promise you, I never say nothing again.
Dude, if they
Hey,
give him
Jokic better-
MVP finally and he loses the first round of the Nets,
Man, you hear me, bro? Boy, I ain't saying nothing about the 70s, and I'm getting Jerem on here and talking shit all whole episode.
oh yeah, he got to come sit right in here to face that music. But no,
Cool,
I am
but
also
still.
rocking with the 76ers. The Nets, yeah, I mean, Mikal Bridges, I like him a lot, but not as my best player.
He's not ready for this.
So that's just
Not
a
ready
different
for
ball
this.
game. Now, this is one that I know is being very hotly debated in like the major media markets, but Suns versus the Clippers. 4-5.
This is a debate?
Like why is it a debate?
Carl,
why wouldn't it be?
Carl, go ahead.
I mean, I'm picking the Suns. I'm guessing that's what you guys are inferring as well. Sorry, implying as well. But it's up for debate, man. Like the Clippers are legit. What? Don't shake your heads at me. You don't know that Chris Paul's going to make it out of the first round.
It's the Flippers, man. Come on,
They
man.
gonna flip, yes.
Can I remind you that they lost to the goddamn Dallas Mavericks last playoffs? Like, they're not.
The Mavericks were bad last year, though, bro.
They're not the
Like,
end all be all. Like they've got KD. They look really dangerous. They look like they might be the best team in the West. I'm picking the Suns, but I'm really interested in this series. A hell of a lot more than freaking Sixers Nets, that's for sure. I think it's going to be a good series. I'm picking the Suns.
How many games, Carl? How many games did this one goes?
I'll go, I guess 6.
6 games. Okay.
that's fair.
Joe,
That's fair.
Suns in 5. I'm gonna give him one game because Kawhi gonna ball. Kawhi gonna give him a game.
Yeah, of course.
But Paul George, where Paul George is Paul George gonna be healthy? Is Paul George playing? I'm pretty sure he's not
Who knows?
playing. So
Yeah.
no one knows.
So you telling me you're going out there with Kawhi, Russell Westbrook? That's what you got?
Hey, bro, Kawhi took the Raptors to a championship. Can't put nothing past him at this point.
Bro,
I know we get on them, but
yeah, but not the East.
Devion.
The East was not the
bro,
no,
he
no,
did.
no.
Kawhi did this
He-
shit every year, bro. He can get 2 games.
He
Kawhi
not
can get
finna
2
go-
games.
Do what?
Come on.
What? Wait, whoa.
What
Why?
has he done?
He's won.
What does Kawhi do every year? Wins what?
Rings.
Wins what?
Win rings.
What did he win last year? What did he win last year?
Okay, he was hurt. I give him that.
Oh, the year. Okay,
He's
the
been
year
hurt
before that.
since the Raptors.
And
What
he's
you
still
talking
getting rings.
about? He was hurt with the Raptors.
Hurt with rings. Hurt Raptors, rings.
Bro, He a lucky
this is
bank
one of the
shot away
storylines
not
that
win.
drives me
He's
the
a
most
lucky bank
nuts in
shot
sports.
away.
What the fuck
the Warriors
Kawhi?
was hurt.
What has
Warriors was
Kawhi
hurt.
actually
Come
done?
on,
Come
and
on,
he get a
bro.
ring, and now he's still ass, bro. You can't get on him for that.
I didn't know it.
And he get it hurt.
Kawhi, hold on. Kawhi
on.
post Spurs, his one ring. We all know if the Warriors don't just get deathmatch injuries, not fucking
happen.
happen.
Exactly. This is what happened. What happened and what
Okay.
We don't give a
A
fuck
bounce
about that.
Okay, but we also don't have to lie about like that.
the
Oh, Kawhi
76ers.
just led this team and took down the
come on, bro.
juggernaut Warriors that LeBron couldn't take down. Right? Like that didn't fucking happen.
I did
Okay,
watch the Raptors.
His ring is legit.
shoot or
His ring's
score the
legit.
ball
I'm not
for
saying that. His ring is legit.
without Kawhi scoring.
But at the end of the day, Kawhi has gone to the Clippers and gotten bounce.
Yeah.
That's all he does. That's all they've done there.
Yeah,
So,
how are you
like,
gonna just yell rings as the end all be all for a guy who only?
No,
has
I'm not saying it's
two?
all and be all, but for people to
KD
say
has
he's
just
this
as many rings as
bad,
He does win. He does win.
and
He
his
does
stats
win
ain't
when he
that
plays.
bad.
He wins.
That's all
I
I'm
can't
saying.
believe you're making me say this. I hate that you're making me say this.
Bro,
KD
Yeah,
has
y'all
just as
talk
many rings as
crazy,
Kawhi.
Kawhi really ain't that dude, bro. Kawhi really is nice, bro.
He
He
is nice.
gets hurt,
That's
but
why
he's
is
I
nice.
said,
Very
oh,
good
he's
player.
Hell yeah,
his
he hella
threes.
nice.
Very
Yeah,
good player.
yeah, like if
Not
I
a
don't think
franchise changing player. That's where I'm at.
Not anymore.
Never
Not
was.
anymore.
Never
Never was.
No.
The Raptors got a championship.
He was.
That's a franchise changing right there.
Come on now. Again, let's not pretend like
I'm
if
saying,
they had to go, if they would have gone up
I
against
don't
a
care who
fully
win it,
healthy
you got a
team.
chip. That don't matter. You got a
Sure,
chip.
and that team's been
give a fuck
good
about
since he
that.
left.
What happens
That team's
if
been good
Kawhi
since
don't
they
hit
left.
that miracle shot?
They have
against
been good.
76ers?
They have
Maybe
been good.
76ers go to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's whole. You need a lot of luck to win
Absolutely need a
nowadays.
lot of
I'm just
luck.
being real. No matter
All
how
right.
good you need luck. The luck just went on their side. I'm just being real. Like we can't go
For
with
sure,
this.
you got to look. That's fair.
Yeah, bro. I know.
What's your prediction?
Hey, bro.
Suns and what?
I think the Suns go win in 6, but Kawhi's good enough to get them 2 games. But no Paul George, they have no chance. Without Paul George, that's
There's no chance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no chance. That's why I don't think it's debate. With Paul George,
I mean,
that's
if Paul George is healthy,
it's debatable.
I'll
entertain it.
Suns in 5. Let's just move on. Like this,
Yeah.
like the Clippers aren't going to do a
see?
fucking thing to the Suns.
Exactly.
The Clippers aren't going to do a fucking thing to the Suns. Even if they had Paul George, I'd give them 6.
Just like this next team we're going to talk about.
That
in
franchise,
Yeah,
the
and I'm
playoffs.
done reading
Yes,
Marcus'
bro.
comments. You just said Giannis can't beat him. You're in timeout.
Giannis can't be who? Who he
Apparently,
talking about?
Marcus says he can't be Kawhi. But next
he's
one,
trolling.
Cavaliers.
He gonna get me.
Cavaliers and Nick.
He's gonna get me. He's about to get
Carl,
my
what
ass.
you got in this one?
I'm leaning toward Cavs. Again, not one of my favorite series that I'm most excited about. I don't see either of them having a chance against the Bucks in the following round, but I give the Cavs their props. They're young, they're exciting.
All right, Joe.
I'm going to take the Cavs in 6. I'm going to be a little respectful to Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. They're going to have a game or two where they get off. But the Cavs is too much. Donovan Mitchell, been there, done that. He going to get it done. Darius Garland going to show up. I think they got too much size for the Knicks as well. So I'm going to take the Cavs in 6. And it's going to be hilarious because the Knicks fans, the Knicks, they may go 1-1 going into game 3. The Knicks fans think they're going to have this thing wrapped up. And they just going to fall apart. So I'm taking the Cavs.
I respect it. Devion.
You already know.
You know you shouldn't do. I
Do
feel
not
like
do this.
He knows he shouldn't do.
Do not. I know he's not going to do this.
Don't do this to yourself.
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna do this to myself. Cash, bro. Like,
no, you're not. I can't believe you thought about it.
Bro, because I think Brunson's that good.
He is good.
But it's the Knicks with a good player. So you know what I'm saying? Like, but the
Knicks are gonna nick more than Brunson's gonna Brunson, is what you're saying.
There it is, bro. 100. So I got Cavs. They gonna beat them in 5, 6 games.
Damn, 5.
I say 6. Now, because the Knicks will get lucky. They'll get one lucky game, and then they'll actually win one they should win.
Then they're gonna lose one in the Garden. And it's just gonna make everything fall apart.
Yeah, and we gonna remember.
See, I don't know if it's like all this bullshit that y'all have thrown at me. Now I'm feeling just like disrespectful. So
that's cool.
I'll be the first one to be bold. Cavs are gonna sweep them. Knicks are not gonna.
Damn.
Hey, Will, I hope you're right, Will.
I
hope you're right, Will. I can't find it in my heart to say
that'd be
it.
great for NBA basketball if they get swept.
They are not going to do shit like
Yeah.
sure. If they would I be surprised if they win a game, maybe even two.
Boy, what Knicks
Surprised?
curse
No.
been broken?
But
He's home. The Knicks curse been broken. When they can win a championship, I believe it's over.
Yeah, that shit is not broken.
Pretty sure I said he's in timeout, you guys.
You hear me, bro? We're gonna have to mute him, bro. When Phil Jackson can play again, maybe the Knicks
Still
will
gonna have to
win.
mute him.
Maybe that'll be it, bro. That boy tripping. Talking
that's
some
what
Knicks.
everyone's referencing. Yeah, no
Fucking
curse
the
has been broken.
Knickerbockers.
Bro,
They
Dolan
he's
is
just trying to
still
get us
the owner.
heated because the man's out.
Yeah, that's all it is. He just salty that the Mavs are fucking terrible.
Exactly. He's trying to get us
But-
hot.
All right, so we obviously don't know who the play-in games are going to be, but what I do want to know from everybody is who provides the biggest upset potential from the play-in teams.
Ooh.
So you get your choice
That's a good
from the
one.
8.
Oh, that's easy, bro. Come on, man.
I mean, it's not as easy as you think. I know what you two will say, but Carl, who do you think provides the biggest upset potential out of the play-in teams?
Me?
Yeah, who do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shaking it up. I agree it's the Lakers.
Joe?
Will, we know what you're gonna say. You got the shirt on, damn it. What are you talking about us? You got the damn shirt on.
Dude.
But come on, man. It's the Lakers. If the Lakers are healthy, if you got a healthy AD and a healthy LeBron,
Come on now.
and the way that team was looking, come on, man. If they can keep it all together and stay healthy, that's the team right there you need to watch out for in the West.
Well, I
Devion?
don't know about the team, but a team
Yeah.
for sure, yes.
Come on. Or let us have this one, bro.
Please.
Man,
We suffered all year long for this moment. Come on.
Man. We had a good last 2 weeks.
I mean,
This is all we've had.
you can't forget about Kawhi Leonard. All he does is win rings, right?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to get
bro,
through the
he a
Clippers.
winner,
We
bro.
may have to
I
get
heard
through the
somebody
Clippers.
say earlier.
If he would have counted the Lakers, he would have won. But fuck him.
Devion, give your answer, bro.
Lakers.
Okay.
You know who I'm gonna say, Will. I'm just stalling. You know who I'm gonna say. The Lakers, bro. We can upset. We'll fuck around, upset some people that be mad. And you know we gonna be happy. So can't wait.
Hey,
Shit,
If
we
if
gonna
y'all
win
win,
one.
if y'all
Else
win
is
the
to fuck around
play-in
and not make the
game,
playoffs.
I need Shannon Sharp to be courtside every single game
Right? Oh,
Man.
because
Oh,
that
he
would
gonna
be
be so
Lakers
hyped.
Grizzlies and Shannon needs to be sitting right next to
hell yeah.
T Moran. Like I need that to
Hey,
happen.
bro.
I-
I'm saying right here, they beat. I think the Lakers gonna beat them. I think the Lakers gonna
Hell
beat the
yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies. They gotta get. They gonna have
Okay.
to damn near sweep us to get us out of there. If the longer it goes, the worse it is for them.
I think
Agreed.
we need to do like a quick 20-minute podcast once the play-ins are
I'm with it.
final, but we will discuss that at a later time. So I know you guys think I'm going to go with this stupid ass fucking team, but there's not a chance in hell I'm going with the fucking Miami Heat. They do not deserve that type of recognition this year. So I will also go with the Lakers. I think the Lakers have been playing the best of the play-in teams. I think again, I don't know. I'm going to use my time to think about it. But I would not be surprised if I ended up leaning Lakers over Grizzlies in that series. So I will be rooting my heart out for my Miami Heat, but they have done nothing this year to show me that they are going to make anything tough for anybody. So especially not the fucking Celtics. So
I think they'll make it a fun series if they're in it.
Here's what I found.
Siri, man, Siri's been talking to me a lot during this podcast. That's where I get my cheat codes at.
This here's what
But,
I found. Your takes are
Here's
trash.
what I found. Nothing about the Miami Heat. All right, we end this show. We choose love or we choose
Yes,
violence.
sir.
Carl,
Bang,
I'll
bang.
give you time to think. But Joe, where you going?
Rudy. I'm going shots fired at Rudy Gobert, bro. How many times do you gotta ruin the team by doing some stupid ass shit? First, it was the Jazz with Donovan Mitchell. Y'all was the number 1 seed, bro. Y'all was living good, but you wanted to cough on some damn mics. And then now you look at his advanced analytics when he has a ball dominant offensive guard with him, and they do pick and roll because that's all he good at. They pass him the ball 2.1 times a game. So obviously they don't even like passing this motherfucker the ball. So, but he's
Why
steady
would
out
you?
here thinking he the truth. I can't stand this man, bro. And he gonna be in the league another 5 years because they pay him so much damn money.
You stuck
bro,
with him.
Straight fire, man. That's a fireable offense right there.
And that was
making that
also
trade.
there was a similar stat when he and Donovan Mitchell
Yeah.
were together in Utah too. Like this isn't the first time that's happened to him.
People know if you throw him the ball, it's not going to go in the fucking hoop.
No.
That's what
So
they
why
know
would
that.
you trade for him when you got Anthony Edwards and you got young talent and you had D'Angelo Russell at the time? Why would you trade for him?
It feels like they could have been better than they are.
Count your blessings, Joe, because now he's on your team helping y'all out. Devion.
Yes, sir.
So I'm hating the Dallas Mavericks, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Cause bro, I feel for y'all fans. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping that they was gonna win. I just knew they was gonna. I was like, can't nobody fuck up this bad, and they managed to fuck up. Not only did they fuck up, they still had a chance to win that the last fucking game for them to get out, and blew it at the last minute. So bro, that shit sad for real. That was I feel for the Mavs, bro. This is how. Yeah, this is how like the Mavs fans, bro. This is how like Knicks fans feel every year, and they don't got no choice. But y'all had a glimpse of hope, and then y'all motherfuckers was just found a way to fuck
run
it up.
amok.
And y'all better keep Kyrie, because if they don't keep Kyrie next year, this shit was just a fuck up. Y'all gave away all y'all shit, and then y'all got $40 million, and who gonna want to come there and play? Because y'all got nobody but Luka. And I'll give you Christian Woods, but
they already said Christian Woods bouncing. They already said he's going to bounce out the end of this
I
year.
didn't think that was
As he should.
As he should.
So
Carl, this is the time for you. You got some love or some violence you want to get off your chest today, bro?
Fuck that 10 pick.
Yeah, those are both great takes. Love both of those. I'm gonna stick with love. I usually like to go violence on these podcasts, but you guys already took two of my favorite takes in that department. So just loving that the playoffs are started. Great time of year. Excited about my Warriors. Excited that we got Wiggins back. Don't know how that's going to look, but I'm optimistic. Like I said earlier, I think that 2 versus 7, especially if it's the Lakers, and the 3 versus 6 Kings Warriors, that's going to be 2 great first round series. It's going to be a great second round, regardless of which 2 we get. I even think your Heat, like I said, if they win their first play in, I think that they're going to make the Celtics series more fun than people realize. Going to be a lot of great basketball this first round.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun for everyone but me. But yeah,
and Mavs fans.
And Mavs fans. That's good. They can have something to root for. So I am obviously going love today. Got to give it up to the OG of the Miami Heat playing his last, most likely, hopefully, minutes for the Miami Heat. Udonis Haslem going out with a bang, dropping 24 points today.
Retire that man jersey.
Oh, absolutely. That should get hung up tomorrow. But
Ring
that's
of
what the Heat
honor.
culture. Was always did the dirty work, took roles on the team, took less money, did all the things to help the Heat stay competitive over the last 20 years. He was with the Heat for 20 years, which is pretty incredible to think that he lasted longer than Dwayne Wade, even though they were the same rookie class. But shout out to UD,
kind of crazy.
Heat legend. I hope he remains with the organization in some capacity in the future.
For sure.
But we are three possible.
That makes sense. I kind of thought Will was going to go